Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, I am going to be showing you guys some things that recently got added regarding the Lana lore in Dress to Impress. And make sure to subscribe for more Dress to Impress / Lana lore content because I am on the road to 6,000 subscribers. So a lot has happened since I've posted my last Lana lore video. I did make 2 videos explaining the Lana lore situation involving my own theories as well. So if you guys don't know what's happening with the Lana lore, I highly recommend watching those 2 videos before you watch this one because this might spoil a lot of things. Okay, so we last left off on my video with this portal. However, now as you can tell, there is a bunch of dead bodies that seem to be powering up the portal. And we know that the portal is like the awakening or the mark of the awakening because there is a shirt with this portal and it's called Mark of the Awakening. And we kind of talked about the person who created the shirt in my last video. And there's also a note right here that says, "I'll be back to avenge you. Blessings from," and then it's the same exact person that created the t-shirt and has that new Roblox group. And also there is now 2 extra graves with ... on them. So now there is even more graves in the question your game. So chapter 2 isn't officially out yet. However, they've added a lot of things that are going to hint at what chapter 2 might be about, including this entire playground set that they added in the questionnaire game, which is honestly kind of weird. I do have a lot of theories for why they might have added a playground set specifically. Okay guys, so if you go up this slide, there is actually a badge that says the Symphony of Nox grows louder. The real one can be heard in the chorus. So if you guys remember, there is actually a badge called Symphony of Nox in the Forest game. And the description of the badge says it's not just Lana locked away, it's all the ones who've wronged the awakening. So I feel like this playground set might mean that we might dig deeper into Lana's childhood because we don't know too much about her childhood, and maybe something from her childhood connects to the awakening somehow, because the badge does say it's all the ones who've wronged the awakening. But it also says here, the real one can be heard. And as we know, there is multiple different Lanas. So maybe this is like actually the real one that's still trapped, maybe? I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, I don't really know. Maybe we're going to be introduced to another character that's like a kid or something like that. But we all know that like playground sets usually are played by children and represent like children. So I feel like we might get introduced to maybe like a child, or maybe we're gonna get introduced to Lana's childhood and how it like all connects to the awakening. Maybe she was like always meant to do this. I'm not 100% sure. That's just my theory because it's kind of confusing because it does say in the description of the badge it's not just Lana locked away. But then here it says the real one can be heard. So I feel like it might have to do with the real Lana because we don't really know who's the real Lana and who isn't the real Lana because there's so many Lanas. And also there is like red stuff that looks like it's like expanding in the playground set. So maybe something happened to her when she was like a child that has to do with the awakening. Something along those lines, because it just looks like the redness is like taking over the playground set. Maybe it's just like the lighting, but it does look like that was on purpose, honestly. Like by the way it's like squiggled out and stuff like that, I feel like it might mean that it was like being taken over or something like that. And if you guys remember, there is a cabin in the questionnaire game as well, which could also be like Lana's childhood home or just like her home in general, honestly. Okay, so let me give you guys a recap on everything that's happened recently with all of the Lana lore. So Lana sent this out a couple of days ago, and it says, an outlook into the future and the stray sheep. Currently, I am lost, but I will find my way out because I know my death will unravel new beginnings and new entrances. I can already feel the power of vengeance streaming through my blood, my veins, and I can see with all three eyes a new future. I am hopeful, and I hope you will continue to support me and my path. I will not leave anyone behind this time. Blessings, Lana. And now Nathan and Nelly are both under the traitor category in Lana's group. If you guys remember, they both killed one of the Lanas in my last video, so that's probably why they're under the traitor category now. And they also made a new Roblox group, which it's now opened to the public, because if you guys remember last time you had to like request to get into the group. However, Lana made a group shout here, and it says, I hear your call, I hear it well. I am following your voice, and perhaps it'll lead me to the portal you told me about. So obviously the portal is the same one in the questionnaire game. So that's that. And the owner of this group is this person right here, Fortress Awakening, and is the same person that has this t-shirt called Mark of the Awakening. So as you can tell, and then there's 4 people in the league group, which are all of the same people that are in the missing category, which I mentioned in my last video. However, there is a game now, and it is the Chapter 2 base plate. And in the description, it says soon. And here are all of the badges that are going to get added into the game. So I'm going to kind of break down all of these badges for you guys. Okay, so here is the first badge that I'm going to be talking about. The first word actually means you, and then stray sheep means a domestic animal that has wandered away from its place of keeping and is lost. So I have a feeling that the stray sheep is Lana. This could either be current Lana, because she did send in the group wall that she was lost. And she also did mention stray sheep as well. But this could also be like her child self talking as well, because like I said before, we might dig deeper into her childhood, and maybe that's how it is all connected. Maybe she wandered off and found the playground when she was like a child, because the house is pretty nearby, so maybe she wandered off there, and that's how like the awakening and how she's connected to that other person, the Fortress Awakening person. Okay, so here is the second badge, and keep in mind the word utterance means a spoken word, statement, or vocal sound. And Lana actually did say in the group wall that she heard the person's call. And keep in mind, the person is the same person that made the group. So this badge definitely has something to do with the portal and Fortress Awakening person and their calling to Lana. Okay, so the next badge I'm going to be talking about is the Brave New World one, and keep in mind the name or icon can change. However, there has been a lot of talk about the future or new beginnings and stuff like that. For example, Lana does say in her group shout, new beginnings, new entrances, a future, and stuff like that. So here is the next badge that I'm going to be talking about, and the word malevolent actually means having or showing a wish to do evil to others. And also, the Fortress Awakening person has wings on. Okay, so here is the next badge that I'm going to be talking about. However, I think this backs up my point about Lana and her childhood being unraveled in chapter 2, because lamb actually means a young sheep. And as we know, stray sheep really represented Lana well, and we mentioned that badge before. So I have a feeling that they're referring to Lana when she was younger or a child. And butterfly is definitely the Fortress Awakening person, because the role name for Fortress Awakening literally means butterfly. So maybe we're gonna find out how they know each other and how they met and how her childhood connects to the awakening or something like that. Okay, so I think that this has to do with her childhood. Now, if we're going off of my theory, if we think back to one of the badges that are in the questionnaire game, specifically the Mason one, that word represents house in English, and it's actually a French word. And the description of that badge says, I am home. So I have a feeling that this might be more of a childhood unlocking type of badge. Maybe we're gonna go deeper into seeing what her childhood was like. Okay, so here is the next badge, and the meaning of this badge actually means shooting an apple off one's child's head. So maybe this is referring to Lana. It could be a completely different child, but it would make sense if this was referring to Lana, just judging by all of the other badges and what they really mean and going off of my theory. And here is the final badge that I'm going to be talking about in this video. So the word archaic means very old or old-fashioned. So I'm not really sure what this badge could mean. I do think it does have something to do with Lana's childhood and going back in time and stuff like that, because it is talking about very old or old-fashioned. Not like Lana is like old or anything like that, but it could mean going back in like time and stuff like that.